Here's a quick update on the Mittleider fall garden. Here I'm over at my wife's garden and she's got some strawberries. These are blackberries that are still green. I don't know why. I thought they would have died back by now. We've had many nights of freezing. Her strawberries are looking great compared to mine, which aren't, and I think the reason is because she's covered them in a low tunnel. I learned this last year that covering your plants during the fall and winter makes a dramatic difference in the health of the plants. These look healthy, strong, they're growing at a great rate, and mine are struggling. My wife's new 28-foot long, 4-foot wide Mittleider grow box is in place and filled in with the soil from her previous beds. Again, we promise a great garden in any soil, so there's no need to throw out the soil that you have. You can just use it and transition to the Mittleider gardening method following the 6 laws of plant growth, which is exactly what my wife has done. She's completely converted all of her gardens over to the Mittleider gardening method. We're no longer using drip irrigation. We're no longer using compost, manure, seaweed, fish emulsion, compost tea, all those other very expensive, time-consuming things. She's no longer using those. She's looking for a very enjoyable and prosperous garden this year. This soil's been here for a couple weeks. We've got some weeds growing in here. And she said yesterday, oh, I need to get down and weed this. And she meant by hand. And I said, no, you need to use the Mittleider 2-way hoe. I took about 20 seconds and went down 20 feet on this side of the bed. I'm going to show you how well this hoe works. All you do is just drag it across the surfaces like that, and that takes care of all the weeds. We're just cutting the tops of the weeds off. If plants don't get light, they die. And so these plants are now gone. You can pick them up if you want, but you don't have to. That's how easy it is to weed your garden. Just like that. Very fast. You can either push it or pull it, whichever way works best for you. There, that is now weeded. I can come back through and remove the pine needles, although I don't have to. Just depends on what you want to do with your garden. Level this back out and I'm ready to plant. That easy to do it. Wonderful tool. Highly recommend it. I'll have a link below this video for this tool. Huge time saver. You can see this grow box is designed for vertical growing, but it being winter we're not growing anything vertically, but she's going to be planting broccoli and other things here. She's making these small hoop gardens or covers or low row cover, whatever you want to call it, A-frames. That way there's less room to keep warm and protect from the weather. I have a complete video. I'll have a link below on how to build these. But this is great. We've got the 3/4 inch thin wall PVC down in the ground and screwed in. This goes right into that leg and then over there into the soil, and she'll be able to put plastic down this whole bed and protect her entire garden during the winter. Fabulous idea. Very inexpensive to do. Works tremendously well. It's pretty cold this morning, although I've been wearing my Carhartt and Dickie insulated clothing. I had to take it off because it's so warm. If you're in cold weather and haven't tried this, this is amazing. Later on today, my son and I are leaving to go to Nevada to the Front Sight Firearms Training Center, and it's going to be down at 22 degrees. So I want to make sure that I'm going to be warm. This is the best money I've ever spent in winter clothing. Very good quality, very warm. This is the lettuce and carrot beds, looking great. I haven't picked any carrots yet, so I want to do that. Here it looks like a good sized carrot plant. I have no idea what the carrot looks like, but let's give it a little tug and see what we got here. Here we go, cute little carrot. That'll go in the harvest box today. Here's my wife's herb garden. You can see she's got the plastic over to protect it. She's using 4x4s to hold it down, just as a quick measure because the weather turned cold quickly and she hadn't had time to get it set up properly. I think what she is going to do is put some 1x2s on either side of the plastic, and that'll help weigh it down and replace the 4x4s. Let's take a look underneath and see how things look. Everything underneath looks great. She's got chives over here. She's got parsley, Italian parsley. Here's fennel. She's growing the catnip for herbal uses. She's becoming a certified herbalist. And we have cilantro over here. Great looking herb garden. The reason why we turned this into an herb garden because this is on the east side of the house, so it gets very little light, and so herbs not having to produce a fruit will do very well here, whereas other tomatoes and fruit-bearing plants won't. Use every space you can to grow food for your family. I just pulled out all the squash plants and cucumbers. I also did some harvesting this morning. You see some Swiss chard, some mustard greens, bok choy, acorn squash, butternut squash, cucumbers, and bell peppers. It's December and we're harvesting produce from our garden. You can really do it if you cover your plants, even when you have really cold weather. In a few minutes I'll be harvesting my sweet potato patch. Make sure you look at the sweet potato harvest video to see what kind of yield we got. Remember, this all started with just 3 sweet potatoes my wife bought at the grocery store. The cabbage, Swiss chard, mustard greens, and all the plants in this bed are looking great. This bed has not been covered, and so they have not been growing as fast as other plants. In comparison, look at these other plants that were planted the same day, and look how large these are. These are broccoli. I've already got broccoli heads coming out on the broccoli here. Look at that. That's exciting. I've got my secondary broccoli here, so I'm staggering my harvest so I don't have broccoli all at once. Over here I have cauliflower. They're doing great, and then I've got my small cauliflower growing in here too. So very happy with this being protected. Because I'm working in the garden, I've got the sides rolled up. It's not windy, the sun's coming out. Came out here at about 6 o'clock this morning, and it's just been a joy to work in this garden. And here is the contrast between my wife's strawberries and mine. About half of my strawberries are dead, and it's just because I haven't taken care of them, whereas my wife has taken care of her strawberries. She said that she babied them, and they are healthy. I don't think she's lost more than maybe 5%, whereas I've lost about 50% or more. I've got the hoops here, I just never took the time to put the plastic up. So now I've got to buy new strawberry plants and replant.